So Barney Frank is living proof that you can be an open homosexual in Congress and still be not so liberal. Right?
Yes.
Because he's all about it. He's all about it. You know, there's a quote from Barney Frank. I don't have it. He once said, we're the only politicians. We're in the only business where people give you money for favors, and we're supposed to act like it doesn't affect us. That's what Barney Frank said. That's a quote from Barney Frank. And then, just like all the Democrat politicians now, as soon as they get a chance for power, but again, I'll sell that out for power. Right. So there was a time when Barney Frank was also recognizing the corrupting influence of money in politics. There was that time. So here he is. He's on MSNBC and he's sparring with Bernie Sanders' campaign manager. And this slips out of his mouth. So I don't know. By the way, it's okay. I don't think it's okay, but it is okay. Technically okay if you're a Democrat to support Hillary Clinton. She's not really that Democrat. She's not much of a Democrat. But if you want to support her, that's okay. What's not okay is when she's running against the most liberal senator in the history, a wet dream of a liberal senator. What's not okay is to then smear that guy, the guy who's the honest guy. It's not okay to then smear him or his supporters or to diminish his concerns that we all know is the problem in politics, which is the corrupting power of money. We all know, everyone understands that. And the only thing is, a lot of people are choosing to not address it and pretend it's not a problem because it's Hillary Clinton's our candidate, just like Iraq war. It seems like if Bernie Sanders' candidacy has revealed anything, it's that turns out only half the Democratic Party really gives a shit about the Iraq war when they can use it as a battering ram to beat up Republicans. Because right now, half the Democratic Party doesn't really care about the Iraq war so much. Dre Bayard tells people to get over it. Before they were saying anybody who pushed the Iraq war should be in jail. Now they're saying get over it. Okay, we'll get over it. So here is Barney Frank, and this is what slips out of his mouth during a debate on the MSNBC.
That was wrong. But in fact, they forget, maybe Senator Sanders forgot to tell them, that in the earlier part of this century, as a senior member of the Banking Committee, at Senator Sanders' request, I went to Burlington to have a fundraiser for him. And frankly, as a senior member of the Banking Committee, sometimes when I did fundraisers, a bank or two showed up. So I hope for the sake of Senator Sanders' purity, they can scrub that and see maybe they need to give some money back.
Oh, brother.
See, so what he's doing is all that stuff Bernie Sanders about the corrupting bank is stupid. That's stupid. Hey, banks aren't bad people. What was that all about? What is that? What is that? Now, that sounds like a Republican. That doesn't sound like, does that sound like a Democrat to you? Jim, Robert, Frank, Hank, Stephanie? Does that sound like a
It sounds like a pimp.
That
It sounds like he's saying, like, I did some pimping.
For him.
For him.
Yeah, I did
to the banking industry. And so, by the way, I'm not the sleaze he is. Like, what? What the hell?
I don't know what that is, buddy. I do not get that. That's the weird thing that's like, it's okay. Like I'm saying, I understand some people are going to support Hillary. That's fine. The way you defend her shouldn't be gross and creep people out and make you sound like a pimp or a Republican. Because that's what that sounds like. Well, Bernie Sanders on that purity test. Purity. So now, when you identify the problem, you're some kind of a crazy ideologue. What other BS smears can they give to Bernie Sanders? When he's to purity, he's an ideologue. That's all part of that. That's a guy who's corrupted by money, supporting someone who's unbelievably corrupted and is a liar. Less trustworthy than Donald Trump. That's who he's supporting, and that's how you have to. So when you've turned your back on liberalism and progressives, that's how you have to talk on TV.
He's the one who brought up the McCarthyism comparison to Sanders, comparing him to McCarthy.
He did. Barney Frank did.
Yeah. And
in what way?
And his followers, there's some weird reverse discrimination type logic going on.
So let me just
that he's demanding purity because he demands, Sanders is accused of demanding purity, which he is not, just like McCarthy demanded loyalty oaths.
Oh, okay.
and
That's the
purity.
So let me play this again. Let's just listen to it again.
That was wrong. But in fact, they forget, maybe Senator Sanders forgot to tell them, that in the earlier part of this century, as a senior member of the Banking Committee, at Senator Sanders' request, I went to Burlington to have a fundraiser for him. And frankly, as a senior member of the Banking Committee, sometimes when I did fundraisers, a bank or two showed up. So I hope for the sake of Senator Sanders' purity, they can scrub that and see maybe they need to give some money back.
So what are you doing, Barney? So is your position of, hey, so what's the problem? Nothing's wrong with banks and money, and there's no. So are you saying there's no problem? Are you saying Bernie has no point? Are you saying Bernie is out of his mind when he says this? Are you saying Bernie's a little loco? This guy thinks there's money with bank money and politics. What's wrong with this? So are you saying that, or are you saying that Bernie actually has a point? Because if you think Bernie actually has a point, why would you say that? That's like, this doesn't. So this is what sickens me, is when Democrats go on, make no sense, and sound like Bush supporters. That's the kind of argument you get from Bush supporters. They don't make sense. They're illogical. They're contradictory to shit he's already said in his life. And that's why when I'm talking about they're arguing like Bush supporters, when I say that, what I mean is that they don't make sense. That doesn't make sense, what he just did. So you're saying that you should have more money? There should be more bank money in politics? Are you saying that's, of course, that's not what you're saying, but that is what you're saying. So that's what I'm talking about. If you go ahead, support Hillary Clinton, but that just makes no sense in about 10 different ways. That makes no sense what you do. And he does it all with a smirk, like a snide, like this.
I'm ready for him to start telling me that Bernie Sanders has credit cards and goes to the bank.
Yeah. Oh, Bernie Sanders got a toaster for opening up a checking account.
Oh, I wish they still did that.
Where's his purity? I do not understand how grown people are allowed to argue like that.
So what he's doing is that thing with people do with Al Gore, where they say, well, he flies around on an airplane.
Yeah.
He uses up gas. He has electricity in his house. That's the exact kind of bullshit that he's pulling.
That is exactly what he's doing. So what he's doing is a Republican attack on a liberal. That's what they're doing. So the people who are defending Hillary like this are defending her like Republicans defend George Bush. That's what this is.
And for the same reason.
And for the same reason.
For the same reason,
power.
which is that
Fear
that
and
you
power.
really cannot argue policy positions.
Can't argue policy.
Because I'm sorry, Hillary Clinton just does not have consistent policy positions that are strong for anybody who's a liberal member of the party.
Oh, but wait a minute. You know, she did support gay rights. Oh, wait a minute.
When she was given permission to by everybody else.
Yeah, but what after the whole country was for gay rights, then she came out and she led the way on that. Anyway, this is what I don't get. I do not understand this. I don't understand how he does it. Like smug. What is smug? But what are you smug about? That you're supporting someone who's completely bought and paid for, and everyone knows it. That she's going to lose to Donald Trump, and he's smug about it. Instead of like, we're all embarrassed that we have to support her. We're all embarrassed about what's happened to politics in America. We're all embarrassed, but right now I have to support her because I'm in the club. I'm part of the group. I'm the establishment. Even though I'm gay, turns out I can be gay and a sellout at the same time.